Gentlemen, we are here with Ernie and Carol Cooper. They're our second segment of Hometown Heroes for the Granite Bay View magazine. And Ernie and Carol, you guys have been friends for a long time, and it is absolutely a pleasure for me to be here talking with you. And God bless you guys. I just love you guys. I always have. Been great.
We're wondering what you're doing here. Okay, so.
Hometown Heroes is about the heroes in our community that are people that we see them take out the garbage, we see them go to the mailbox, but we really don't know more about them than that. But there's stories behind them that make them heroes. And we believe that with what you've accomplished here, Ernie, with you, the football program, the high school that has been developed here, one of the best in the nation, and your family. We believe that you guys are heroes. And so we want your story to be told. So Carol, my first questions are going to be to you.
Okay.
Carol, you moved out here in 1996.
Yes.
From Santa Cruz. What was that like for you?
At first it was very hard. It was so hard that I actually didn't move up right away when Ernie came up. I was struggling with the idea of leaving the beach and my family and my business. And he says, it's going to be fun. We're going to come up and we're going to be in on something from the ground up, and I'm excited to do it. So here we are 19 years later, and we call this home.
So you almost have your own little beach in your backyard.
Yes, we do. Our makeshift beach.
So you come out here in 1996, don't really know anybody. Sacramento, a new community, new school, and you put roots down here, and I bet you that was kind of a scary experience for you.
Yes, it was very scary. Like I said, just leaving my family, leaving my business, but I felt the excitement that Ernie had to come up here and be a part of something new and start it with, we came up with Ron Severson, and he had worked with Ernie at Aptos High. So I had faith in both of them. So it's been a journey, but it's been awesome.
Wow. Now, since then, you've had a child.
Yes.
Who is just a beautiful young lady.
Thank you.
You know, the community has seen her grown up. And what's that been like for both of you with, having a beautiful little girl and now having her start school in this community? What's that been like for you?
Oh, it's been awesome, and it has been a journey. Some of these players have been with me since I was pregnant with Mikko. We had a group of captains come out after I gave birth to Mikko, and they came out and saw me at the hospital. And so a lot of them, a lot of the alumni, when they come back, it used to be, hey, Coach, hey, Mrs. Cooper. Now it's like, where's Mikko? Is that her? So we've just embraced it, and she's so much fun, and she's a part of Grizzly tradition and Grizzly pride, and she's been a good friend to sit on those metal benches Friday nights up late, and she's been wonderful.
You know, my partner, Rick Sutter, takes a lot of video of the games. And he's your videographer at one of the coaches there, and he shows me video that he takes of Mikko from up top, and it's almost like the little girl in Remember the Titans, Rick?
Yeah.
Remember the Titans, where she's all into the football and mimics her dad and almost is able to call the plays. I just laugh when I see those videos, and Rick has some really good video to show, and I'm sure we'll pop it up for the people that are going to watch this. Carol, now Ernie has moved on.
Ooh.
Yes.
Tell us how that makes you feel.
Well, Mark, when he didn't tell me first what he was doing. I think he knew better. When he did announce that he was retiring, stepping down, he asked me to come to the school and bring Mikko, and I asked him why, and he told me that he was going to talk to the players first. And I said, well, why are you doing this? I wasn't thrilled. I was really sad. And I said, why didn't you tell me you were doing this? And he said, because you would try to talk me out of it. So it was really hard. It was hard for both of us. Football has been it's our family. It's been our life. So it was hard. It still is hard. But I know that he's still going to be around the players and the team. And it's going to be hard when the season comes around.
I think that you guys are still going to be pretty much around it. I mean, Ernie,
Oh, yeah.
You're still involved with the weightlifting program and all that. So even though it probably won't be as intense,
Right.
I'm sure it'll be relaxing
Yeah.
just a little
Yes.
bit for you, Carol.
Sure, it
Just
will
to
be.
kind of be able to go where you want to go. And
Right.
do what you want to do on weekends now. Carol, I just I appreciate you. The one
Thank
thing that I
you.
remember about you more than anything is when my kids went in the military, and the neat little things that you would do for our family, and this one bracelet
Oh, that's
that you
very
gave my wife that she still wears
Oh, that's
religiously.
great.
That was just a beautiful memento for you. You are a great woman, a kind-hearted person, and it's an honor to be
Thank
able
you.
to share a little bit of your story
Well, it's
with
been
the
an
people here.
honor
at
to
Granite
know
Bay.
you and your family, Mark. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carol.
Because that's the kind of thing that would go up in I'm going to put that up in our weight room, right on the wall. So people see, because that's where all the athletes go. They always end up in our weight room. That'd be a nice thing to have maybe in the front office too, but I don't make that decision.
All right, let's go.
Good, I'm ready.
Ernie Cooper.
Mark
Thanks.
Soto. Start over.
We've been friends for a long time. I want to say I moved out to Granite Bay in 2000. You and I met in 2001.
Yep.
Started coaching at Granite Bay, and we became friends. After that, we've been friends ever since. You moved out here in 1996.
Yep.
What brought you out here to Granite Bay? What was the whole story behind that?
Well, the short version is I had been a head football coach before at Harbor High School in 1986, 87, 88. And at the young age of, I was 23 when I was hired, but the season started, I was 24, 25, 26, young guy trying to run a program. I had been a defensive coordinator for the previous 3 years before that, and then a position coach the 3 years before that. So I had 6 years of experience, but had no idea what I was in store for, and did the best I could, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I knew what I wanted to have, how I wanted the program to be, but I just couldn't get it there. Made a decision to go back over to Aptos High, which is my alma mater, and I was the defensive coordinator there for 7 years. And the principal came through towards the end of my stay at Aptos High was Ron Severson, and
Former principal of Granite Bay.
former principal of Granite Bay High School. And he was going to leave Aptos High School in 1995, and he was coming up to start a brand new high school called Granite Bay High School here in Granite Bay. And he left a year before the school was opening so he could do all the groundwork to get it up and running. And he had told me, and he knew I was starting to get the itch to be a head football coach again. He said, after he'd been here, he goes, this is going to be one of the great communities to live in, teach in, coach in. And I said, Ron, I will never come there. And famous last words. So when he was actually getting ready to hire some teachers, every teacher at Granite Bay High School came from inside the district except two, Dale Mortensen and myself. And we were both in the Aptos area. I was teaching at Aptos High School. I think Dale was teaching at one of the junior highs at that time. And Ron, I had to go through an interview, hired me as the head football coach and hired Dale as the defensive coordinator. And that's how we got started at Granite Bay High School.
Wow. So you moved out here. I mean, obviously you came out here, you checked it out, you
Yeah.
scouted it out. What did you think when you first came out here? Did you be in a beach?
Yeah, came up here on a dreary January day. Jess Borhan came a year after Ron Severson, and Jess was a teacher coach at Aptos High School. I coached football with him at Aptos High School. He became an assistant principal at Wood Creek High School, and we've been good buddies while he was at Aptos. Jess says, Coop, come up. I'll take you around. I'll show you the area. I came up on one of those dreary January days when the fog was just never lifted. The ground was wet. It was cold. Felt like it was raining, but it's not.
Right,
It's just
right.
that heavy
Yeah.
fog. And Jess took me all over the place, showed me Wood Creek High because Granite Bay wasn't built yet. You know, they had the groundwork. It was all starting to take place, but it wasn't all ready. Anyway, drove home that same day. Carol's all excited about it, and she goes, "What did you think?" I said, "I will never live there." Okay, I was cold all day long, and then she came up 3 weeks later, and she met with Laura Borhan, Jess's wife, because they had been friends. She came home. She loved it because the beautiful housing, the schools. She saw the schools and goes, "This is big time." Met a lot of nice people. So she was fired up, and I said, "No way am I going." And then as I get closer and I interviewed for the job, then I started going, "Yeah, you know, this is, you know," and I started hearing about how it could be and how competitive it was in this area, and I was looking for that. Then I started going, "Yes." And I told Ron Severson, "I'm coming." And my wife goes at the time, "I'm not." Because then we went in opposite, you know, I was down here and she was up here, and then all of a sudden I said, "Yeah, I'm coming." And she goes, "No, I'm not." So she actually didn't live here the first 6 months, mainly because she was making a great living in Santa Cruz. She's a hairstylist,
Right.
and she was very, very, very good at what she did. And it was hard to leave that money. We needed that money.
Sure.
So anyway, that first season was a long season for me. And because I didn't have my wife, she came up on the weekends for the games, you know, but then she went right back and worked during the week and made money. And she didn't really come up here till January of 1997.
Tell us about that first season, okay? 1996,
Yep.
brand new high school. You're coming in here green. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of you. The teachers did, obviously. but
Yeah, nobody.
You're coming in here and you're starting a football program
Yeah.
From scratch. What was that like for you?
That was the hardest thing I've ever did in my whole life. And it was the greatest thing at the same time. Put everything I had into it. I mean, every inch of my fiber went into that job because I loved it, not because I just wanted to, you know, work at it and be the best. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be head football coach, brand new high school, have all these great opportunities, start your own traditions. And I'd only coached varsity football. I'm a varsity football coach, right? And I'm coaching JV football, and I'm thinking, we're gonna kick some fanny. 1-8-1.
1-8-1.
Yeah, won one game, tied another one, lost 8, didn't win a league game, and you know, we got our fannies kicked by everybody, and it was a real eye opener. And when the season was over, you know, we had to huddle up. Coach Lynch, Mike Lynch, was on the original staff.
Yeah.
Chet Dixon,
Yeah.
Dale Mortensen, of course, Keith Burcham. These guys are, you know, the salt of the earth,
Right.
good men.
Good men.
Okay,
Right.
and myself, we all huddled up and we said, "Hey, you know, we got to come up with some answers, or we're in a very competitive area,
Right.
football wise.
SFL.
Yeah, we got to rethink maybe some of the things that we were doing." And one of the things that we decided to do, this is after meeting with Mark Speckman, who's a famous high school coach in California, and then at the time he was the offensive coordinator at Willamette University in Salem, Oregon. He says, when I went to a brand new high school one time as a head coach, I had visited with him right after in early January 1997. He goes, we were starting a brand new high school. He goes, we 2 platooned right off the bat our junior year with our juniors, meaning the kids either played offense or they played defense. And he goes, you have a great opportunity to do the same thing, and then you'll come back that next year, you'll have 22 returning starters. And it hit me because we got in the same mold that a lot of other schools do in high school. You play 13 or 14 guys.
Right. Your top guy.
Yes, and you see when the offensive series is over and the team punts, only like 3 guys leave the field. They all go from offense right over to defense. And that struck me as, okay, this is what we've been looking for. I was researching, what are we going to do to be special at Granite Bay High School? What are we going to do?
And that's what was unique about, it
Yeah.
has been unique
Yeah.
about Granite Bay, is the platooning system. And the way, I remember it when I was coaching there, the kids were rested.
Yeah.
And in the fourth quarter, you would see
Yeah.
teams.
That
getting
was
tired.
that was a recipe for a lot of years, but more so also, we were in a community. We thought, we have lots of kids who want to play. Our job is to develop them and let them play, and start them. And so we found that out right off the bat that we got
Coach 'em
kids.
up.
Yeah, coach them up, and you know what? Maybe that second, the guy that's starting at outside backer. If we took our starting tight end, he'd probably be our starting outside backer too. But if that kid gets all the reps, he's going to be fine. We're going to get, and he's going to play, and he's going to buy in. And first year of varsity football, 1997, we had 37 young men on the team. We had 35 juniors and 2 sophomores. Mort, better recruiter than I am. Okay, that was Mort's gift. Dale Mortensen, heck of a recruiter on campus, not from outside schools. So we had 37 guys. Okay, I'm going to say he got 22 of them on defense. So I had 15 guys on offense because we did a draft,
Right.
and we picked them. And Mort ended up, I go, you got 22, I got 15. I got 1 backup lineman, a backup running back, a backup quarterback, and maybe a backup receiver guy. And you're too deep almost everywhere. And he goes, that's the way it goes, coach. And but we learned right off the bat, you win with defense, and Dale did a great job, and we developed a great defense. But anyway, we win our first 3 varsity games ever. We're 3-0.
This is 97?
1997. We're 3-0 coming out. Win our 3 non-league games. We go 0-7 in league because we just weren't there yet.
Right.
So anyway,
So
the next year we come back and we win 3 games, or 3 non-league games again. We lose our first 2 league games.
Okay, so now
This 1998.
Carol's here now.
Oh yeah, Carol's here. We're going. It's all ball. I mean,
You're-
this
you're
thing,
full-
this is
you're living
football.
here, and
We
it's-
got to find a way to compete in the SFL. So we go 0-2 to start. Now we have seniors. So we're 0-9 in league, and the grumblings are starting. You guys can't win a game. And we finally win a game on the road at Bear River High School.
Another great program.
Another great program. Terry Logue at the time was the head coach. Now he's co-head coach. We win a big game on the road in league. We didn't lose another game. We won 19 straight games after that. Not this league, the whole thing. We won 2 section titles. We won 25 out of the next 26 league games. The 2 platooning helped. Our kids now, what we did is we'd have them come in. They just tell us, on a 3x5 card, they tell us what position they want to play. So we'd ask them, hey, what position you want to play? And then we would go in, put it up on the board, and if it looked good to us, that's what we went with. We didn't say, well, I need that guy over here and I need that guy. If the kid said he wanted to play outside backer, then maybe go compete at outside backer, and that's what you're doing. And as long as the numbers matched up, and that's what we did. And we've been, believe me, we've thought about it many times. Adam Jennings, pro football player, one of the great one of the best football players I've ever coached. We didn't play him both ways. He would have been a great corner.
Yeah.
We just said, no, why am I going to play him over another kid that's working his tail off? Let that kid. Dallas Sartz played for the Washington Redskins. Free safety. Played, 4 years at USC, started for 4 years at USC. We didn't play him on offense. We just said, nah, you know what? He started
he probably would have been a great tight end.
Oh, he would have. Yep,
what-
and I can go tell you every single guy, Miles Burris, Devin Wiley, Sammy Strotter, I can go down the list of great players that we've had. And And believe me, there's many times when the season was over, we looked at each other and said, the coaches, we probably could have won the whole thing again if we would have played this guy here. And we said, are we going to do that? And we all looked at each other. Nope. Let's just keep doing what we got. Happy kids. We wanted happy kids. We have 11 starters on defense, 11 different starters on offense, and our goal was to have 22 different kids start on special teams. Our goal every year was to have 44 kids start, where they could go home and say, I'm a starter somewhere on our team. And that's hard to do. We hit it a few years, but a lot of times we'd be in the high 30s.
Sure.
So we'd have 22 starters, 11 on offense and defense, and then try to find 15 other kids that would start on special teams.
Magic.
But to me, it was the best way of doing it. Yeah. And sometimes, at the end, did we want Miles Burris in playing tight end so we could just grind the ball against Dio and beat him? And we said, no, we're going to play the other kid because Miles starts on defense. So this other kid's going to start on offense. And it probably cost us in a few places where we probably could have won some more games. I have no regrets at all. The way we did it, I thought was the right way for our community. I'm not saying that, that's the right way to do it for every community, but for our community and our kids, they bust their butt in the off season. And so I said, hey, if you're good enough, you're going to start, and we're not going to start some guy ahead of you that's starting on the other side of the ball. And that's what we did. And to me, and I'm not patting myself on the back, somebody else told me, hey, this is maybe a good thing for you to do. We did it, we liked it, and it's been something I thought that made our program special for our players, which is the number one thing.
Ernie, what's so special about you, and I think all of us coaches respect this as we grow on through life, is when our kids that we coached have now moved on and they've become parents of their own, and you see them on the street or you see them at the store and they come up to you and they remember.
Yeah. They
remember you and they go, wow, you impacted my life, and I'll thank you, coach. Thank you. Tell us about, things like that. The character.
I've coached high school football and I've coached other sports too, but high school football I've coached for 34 years, full time, because I coached for a couple years in college, and it was full time. I went to practice every day, and I was, and now I'm on my 32nd year in high school as a full-time teacher and all that stuff. So it's been 34 years. There are so many great young men that I have had a chance to hang out with and their families, you guys being two of those families, and your sons. But let's talk about Granite Bay. I see them all the time in the community. We have the guys that are in college come back.
Right.
Cam Smith just came back. He's at USC right now in spring ball going, oh my goodness, what I get myself into. He's down there competing his tail off, and he had spring break. They had spring break, so he came home, and he hung out with us for a couple of days in the weight room and on the field and just hung around, and we talked, and, how's it going? And I said, nah, hang in there. That first time through it, you just got to, there's no easy way. You just got, but more so than the guys that have went on to play college football and even the pros. Right. We've had 6 young men play pro football out of Granite Bay High School. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
For us, for this little community.
And you see them come back to the sideline. They hang out with you.
Unbelievable.
They come and talk to the kids.
But more of them are the ones that don't. They don't even play college football. They might go on to another sport. Okay. Track, lacrosse. We have guys playing rugby now in college.
Right.
Those guys that come back that aren't, the star player, they didn't go on to college to play football, but they just loved playing Granite Bay football, and we loved them. And we were hard on them. I got a little bit of old school in me where, you could still yell at people, and not yell at them just to yell, but to spark something in them, to get them to push themselves harder than they want to push themselves. And there's a fine line there. But they love the program. They love the camaraderie. we did a reunion.
Not
10
too long
years,
ago.
yeah, we did about a 10-year reunion, so this is nine
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
And boy, it was so many guys from the first 5 or 6, they had to be 21 to get in. But we did a great, we had a reunion, and we're going to do another one. We have another one, we're thinking every 10 years, So we're trying to do another one in a year. But you see all those guys, and very rarely do we talk about a win or a loss. But when I see the guys, we talk about all the funny things that happened.
Right.
And,
Right.
when the one guy forgot his jersey, and then, he brought out somebody else's jersey, and I said, nope, you're going through practice with no jersey. So he's out there with his shoulder pads flopping around, and because, you need that jersey to kind of hold it down, and da 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 da. I mean, there's a million stories, and that's what you remember. You remember those things. You remember how we've gone through a lot of hard things in the program, and you remember how we came together and dealt with adversity. I've lived
You lived a great career here.
yeah, it's been, everything that I wanted. It has come to fruition here at Granite Bay High School.
So Ernie, when does one that has, Coach of the Year, State of California,
Yep.
you were given that award, win the state championship, SFL championships, obviously the work it takes to achieve
Yeah.
that level of status takes a lot of time, a lot of toll. How does one say, I need a break? When
Yeah.
did you come to that decision?
Well, I'm a guy that likes to be busy, so I don't mind working hard. I need to have something to do. Although I don't mind sitting in my backyard a few afternoons right now, I've got to be honest with you. Here's the key thing. A couple years ago, I've been talking about taking a year off for 10 years. And more so I wanted to go back out and learn the game all over again. I wanted to travel to different colleges. I got a lot of buddies that coach college
I
football.
remember you and I going and joining a De La Salle game, and you had
Yeah.
never been
Yeah,
to that
never been to
stadium.
a De La Salle game. I wanted to go there and just see what it was like.
Right.
And I wanted to go out and learn football again, but you just can't. If you try to pull away for a year, you're disappointing all those players. The coaches then have to figure out the administration, who's going to be the head coach. I mean, there's just so many things that are involved in just trying to step away for a year. I wanted to do that a couple of years ago, and I didn't. I should have been a little bit more firm and just done it in January when I wanted to do it. This was after our state bowl game win. The timing wasn't right. There wasn't really somebody to take over, da-da-da-da-da. So I kind of hung in there, and then by June I said, no, you always go with your first thought, true, false test. If you circled true, you stay with it, right? In June I just said, no, I wanted a year off and I'm getting out. And it was a terrible way to do it. And especially the kids really wanted to, go for a repeat. They want to say, hey, we just won the state championship in Division I. The only higher level,
Amazing game.
yeah, was is the open division.
Yeah.
And we're not ready for the open division. We're not kidding ourselves that we are, but we won the next highest level in the state of California, and they wanted to put everything they could into it to come back and do it again. So I really disappointed a lot of kids there because they wanted to do it with me, and let's see if we can go back and do it again. And but I knew for me, I just wanted some time off.
Yeah.
I just wanted some time off, and I knew I did. And but then I kind of recharged my batteries, came back, and I wanted to make a run at the thing again. But as I got into it, I realized that we had the right guy to take over now in Jeff Evans. And a lot of kudos to our administration. They realized that he was the guy that was ready also. Mm-hmm. He wasn't on our staff the first time I stepped away. And that was part of my frustration, because I knew he's a guy that has spent 9 to 10 years in our program.
Phenomenal coach.
So he knows it well.
Great pedigree.
And he knows a lot of the kids all the way back to like 2004.
Yeah.
kudos to our administration. They got him, hey, this guy, when I brought it up to them, hey, he could be the guy. Yeah, let's talk about it. And we think he's the right. And I'm saying, no, he's the guy. Steve Smith is going to be our defensive coordinator, and he's been on our campus for a couple of years. He's a lifelong friend of mine and a great football coach, better human being, both those guys. And that was important to me. We had the right guys in place. I felt like finally, I'm going to coach football again. But I just wanted, it was the right time. How do you know? You're asking, how do you know? How do you do it? I've known for a couple of years that I wanted to give up the head coaching part. Not because we won the state bowl game. A lot of people say, oh yeah, you won the state championship so you can get out. If we had not won the state bowl game, that wasn't going to affect me at all. My goal here wasn't to win the state championship when we started Granite Bay football, and it's still not. It's all these other things that we've talked about.
Sure.
And I want a healthy kid. I want a kid that's happy, every day. I want a happy, healthy kid. And that's all parents want, right?
That's all.
For their kids. And that's what I want as a teacher coach. I want our players to be healthy and happy. And I want them to have a great experience. And I want them to be in a competitive program. I felt like I did all the things that I set out to do. And it just, to me, I can coach another 10 years, and I probably will. I'm not going to this year. But it was just, to me, I felt like it's time for the next guy that has the energy and the drive and we're ready for the next chapter of Granite Bay football. And I'm still going to be part of it with Jeff on campus and Steve. And then we have a bunch of other great on-campus coaches. Chet Dixon he's the only coach that has coached every single year of Granite Bay football.
D-line coach.
D-line coach. He's been the D-line coach since 1996, and he's not like me. He hasn't skipped a couple of years now. He's the guy. And we have other guys on campus too. Mike Valentine, Marcus Stevens, Ryan Beidler. We have all these good men.
Yes.
And they believe in Jeff, and they're going to support Jeff, just like I'm going to support Jeff and Steve. And it's the right time. We got a young guy that's got energy. He's a good football coach, good offensive mind. He'll probably call the plays. And it's just time for them now to run with it. And but I'm going to do everything I can to help out the program. I'm going to be the strength coach. I'm going to be here the whole summer doing the summer program. That's 4 days a week, for 5 weeks during the summer.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to get my hands on the freshmen coming in, because now I'm going to have the freshmen in the morning every day in the weight room with me. Before I didn't have that,
right,
because I got the varsity guys. I got to go deal. So now they're going to have to go through me.
They're going to get you
to get to the JVs and then get to the varsity. And I'm really excited about that. Not that I'm some hot shot, but I know how I want the weight training to go and what we have to do to be successful, because we've done it year after year after year. We have a good weight training program that, you've seen. Granite Bay doesn't have big guys. I mean, we've had 2 or 3 big guys in our history of our school. But we have guys that are in good shape. They're confident in their own body. They're strong in their own body frame. We don't try to add weight to our guys. We just want them to, whatever their body frame is, let's build on that. And happy, healthy kids. And so now I get to do it with the freshmen all the way through, so I'm excited. You can see I'm excited about that. And that's where I'm going to expend a lot of my energy for the next year or two.
Ernie, I just in the short time that I've been here, I've just seen a relaxed freshness about you. You just seem to be, you're showing us your beautiful home. We're walking around with Carol and your mother-in-law and the new dog. And
yep.
It just seems like you've really hit a great stride in your life, where you're just you're loving life to its fullest. And I think, buddy, hearing and knowing you like I do, what a testimony to a man that's worked hard. That's worked hard.
Appreciate that.
Come a long way and deserves that. Deserves that time to just kind of rest and enjoy.
Yeah, I don't rest too much. I got to be on the go all the time. I'm a type A guy.
You always joke about Ernie Cooper and his ADD.
Oh yeah, no, I'm on the go. But I want to coach football again, not necessarily the head coach. Okay. But I saw all these things coming together, and I kind of know what I wanted to do. My daughter's 8 years old, and I want to be a little bit more involved there.
Sure.
Although they got their own routine going, let me tell you, we all know, you try to step in to your wife's and daughter's routine. No, they just tell you, dude,
So
just
let's talk about Mikko.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Mikko. I mean, she just became a second-degree black
yeah.
belt.
So she's yep.
She's, obviously I was talking to her. She loves her school. She
Yep.
loves being here. She's competing again. I think we just heard that she was a national champion
Yeah.
in her age bracket
Right.
when it comes to Taekwondo.
Yeah.
I mean, what a little success.
Yeah, and I just want to be part of it a little bit more than I have been.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not looking to coach her or her teams yet. But I just want to be a little bit more of a part of it. When you're the head football coach, and this is just me, other guys can do it differently, but I'm just, I got blinders on and I'm just going all the time, and your family takes a back seat. And I didn't want that for the next couple of years. I want my family to be in the front seat, and I want to get more attention to that area. Mikko is so fun. She's in soccer, she swims, she's in Taekwondo, she plays the piano, and there's, it's a lot of pressure on my wife to get her to all the different things, and so I can start helping out. I don't want to help out too much, but I can start helping out a little bit.
Don't want to go too far.
Yeah, no, God, please. So that'll be fun, but at the same time, I want to miss coaching football.
Yeah.
I missed it a year and a half ago when I stepped away for 3, 4, 5 months. And people go, hey, how was your year off? I go, dude, I was only gone 4 months. Because I coached the whole summer, and then, and then finally when the season started, I just, the season's only 3.5 months long, but that's all the time I really had off.
Like watching you on the sidelines
Huh?
when you were out there
Yeah.
coaching. I mean, when you went to that De La Salle game, you could not sit still.
Oh, I loved. Oh, that was fun. We have a lot of great coaches at Granite Bay High School. I'm just one of the coaches. I'm not any better than anybody else there. There's some of the guys that have been there since the beginning. Steve Fisher, only soccer coach in the school's history. John McLean is the only water polo coach. Pat Esposito is the only baseball coach. Jason Sitterud's been there forever now. Okay, and then we've got some up and comers in John Sherman, Mark Broers. Volleyball coach Bruce Hornberger does a great job. They won section titles. There's a lot of great coaches at Grant. We're really lucky in this community. And I kind of wanted to be one of the ones that lasted, till, I didn't want to be the first guy to get out, but I'm probably the first guy in the original staff to get out. Although Mike Lynch just retired a couple of years ago, and he was,
he's traveling.
Yeah, he's varsity the wrestling coach, head coach for the whole tenure of Granite Bay High School till he retired. And of course, he coached varsity football the whole time. How many coaches coach 2 sports, varsity sports anymore?
Back to back.
Nobody does.
Right.
And he was. We have a lot of good people there, and I probably failed to mention a couple, and I apologize, but I'm just one of those guys. I'm not the guy. I'm just one of the guys. And sometimes they're probably looking at me though, going, "That damn coop got out," And now, but they're going to lead me in weight training. I hope they lead me, to the end of my career, because it's a passion of mine. Teaching math had been a passion of mine, and then I was having a hard time juggling being the head football coach and teaching the high level math. And so Ron got me into weight training. Ron Severson, when we built the Mark Palmer Training Center. Another great player and family that we've had, the Vanderbeeks, the Tufts. I mean, you can go right down the list. The weight training has become a passion. I mean, and I'm learning more and more. I'm going up to Oregon State in 2 weeks, and going up there, and I'm just going to hang out with the weight training, their strength coach. And we have Gavin Andrews is on his last year at Oregon State. But I'm going to put all my efforts into that. And again, I want healthy, happy kids, and I think I promote that in our weight room, and so I'm hoping they'll lead me in that area, because I can help out all the athletes at Granite Bay High School, and obviously the football players too. And then they've got me penciled in for 5 weeks this summer to work the summer program. So it's not like I'm not going to Maui all summer.
Although
so
you probably would not mind that.
No, I would love it, but that part of my life is still down the line. I'm not getting out of the head football coaching job to have the whole summer off.
Right.
I'm not there yet.
Right.
Maybe in 3 or 4 years, who knows? But I plan on helping Jeff all summer long. But this is what I'm doing now. He's got the whole thing, and I'm just doing my little part. And as I found out as head coach, if you have enough good quality guys just doing their little small parts, program, okay? And so I see that's one of the good things about me sticking around and doing what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a great resource for Jeff, but I'm going to try to give him healthy, happy, strong, athletes that can run and jump, and so that helps out anybody's program.
Ernie Cooper, I cannot thank you enough for giving us this time with you. I wish you a healthy, happy life, my friend.
Yeah,
You have just
I'm
been
having it.
You have been an absolute gem to have as a friend and a mentor, a teacher. You've been my coach, and I learned a lot from you while I was here, Coach. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity to come and talk with you and to be here with your family. God bless you, buddy.
Yeah.
And we look forward.
I will say this for a parting shot about my wife, Carol, because you hit it on the nose. You interviewed her. None of this would have happened without Carol. She's been a great supporter of mine. I mean, every day I leave this house, she looks at me and says, do a great job. Influence those guys the right way. Be happy. Have a smile on your face. You're developing our leaders. I mean, that was her message every time. Have fun doing it. This is not work. You're not working. You're going to play with those guys and have a great time. And
wow.
She's really been the team mom for all the guys that you mentioned earlier. She's been the team mom for all of those guys. They would come and talk to her and tell her things, and knowing it would probably get back to me, but that was their soft way of, they could go to Carol. Carol wouldn't judge them. And then Carol could tell me later on, hey, you need to help out so-and-so because he's got some issues here that we got to deal with. And so she deserves...
the lady behind the man.
No, I mean, I'm going to tell you what.
Right.
She has been, again, team mom, and the things she has done to help our kids in our community, we've been a package. And we're still here, and again, we're nothing special, but I think we devoted ourselves to the young people that we were involved with. And we feel really good about it, and we have a lot of, we feel good about it. And there's a lot of other people doing the same thing. We're not the only ones. But I want to make sure that, she gets her kudos because she had to leave a lucrative business and give up some of her individuality for me to take this job. And then most of the players you would talk to would say, yeah, Carol was the real head coach. And she really has had a lot of influence, I'm telling you, on things that have happened. And she would look at things and go, hey, the way you're doing that, you might want to rethink that. Just in my approach, because I come off a little gruff at times.
Maybe she should, if Evans takes a break, we can have Coach
Yeah.
Carol Cooper.
Yeah. But anyway, I love her to death, and none of this would have happened without her support and really her direction, for me. And, I have a great life mate, and what she's done has been good for our community,
What a perfect love note. Thank you,
Yeah,
Ernie.
there it is.
Thank you, my friend.